Hello friends, today we are going to learn together how to create organic looking shapes flower style using just a plain geometric shape modified. So we will start today with the easier shape, and in a future tutorial building on this technique, we will get to this more intricate. And let's start. This flower with 3 petals, let's call it, has as the starting point a triangle, and then is modified. So here I made it in just one color, but for us to be easier to follow it through, we will use 2 colors, one for the sides and one for the increases. Let's have the red for the increases and the black for the sides. So here we can work together 6 rows of the triangle technique. There is another tutorial. If you have already done that, watched that, you can proceed on your own, or if you want, you can spend your time with me and do it together now. So we start with a base circle. We start with a circle of 3 seed beads. In this case I'm using the 11 O's, not the delicas, and I hope we will have an interesting shape using these seed beads as well. And then we go through the next seed bead after the knot, and we are picking up 2 seed beads, the next seed bead in the circle of 3, then pick up again 2 seed beads, go through the next, and now the last 2 seed beads of the row. If you have previously watched some of my tutorials, you know that I will always say, because we are working in a circular manner, we have to step up, and stepping up means to go back through the last 2 seed beads of the end stack of the row, and there we have the seed bead from the previous row and the seed bead of this row, and here we have finished the first row of increases. Now we proceed to second row, and here in the corners where we have the increases, we keep adding 2 seed beads on top of the previous ones, and here we start creating the sides, and we are using the color of the sides. Pick up a bead and go through the first seed bead of the corner stack. Pick up 2 seed beads for the corner and go through the next seed bead of the corner, and here you have another increase. Finished. Now we create the side with a different color seed bead and go through the first seed bead in the last corner. We are adding the seed beads for the increase. And here we are building up the last side of the triangle, and for this we have to step up, so we have to go through the last 2 seed beads of the corner stack. And here we have finished the first row, and we have to continue this way until we have 4 seed beads on the side, so on each side to have 4 black seed beads. We will continue with another row together, and then we can meet when you have finished up to 4 seed beads your own work. And here we have the second corner, the second increase. Make sure that the seed beads stack nicely one on top of the other. Pick up a seed bead for the corner, for the side, sorry. Peyote by going through the one that is already there from the previous row. Add a seed bead and go through the first seed bead of the corner stack. Now we have the corner increase. Pick up 2 seed beads and go through the next seed bead in the stack. And now the side, black seed bead for the side, pick up another one and end the side by going through the first seed bead of the corner stack. Here we have the last, and here I have made a mistake. I have forgotten to step up, so this means I go back and I go through the last 2 seed beads of the stack, and here we have the triangle with 2 seed beads on the side. You can continue this way until we have 4. You can watch the tutorial or just stop it and go straight to where we have 4 seed beads on the side. Now we have started the row with 3. We make sure we hold the thread this way. We have a little control over the way the seed beads stack and create the shape. And peyote. Just pick up a seed and go through the seed that sticks out from the previous row. And here another corner. And continue creating the sides, and here I have 3 3. Here I add the third, being the last seed bead in the row. I have to step up. And now we are working on the last row, where we have 4 seed beads on the side, the black ones. One, 2, 3, and 4. Two red seed beads to create the increase. And peyote on the sides. And the fourth on the second side of the triangle. Be gentle with the tension of the thread, because we don't want the triangle to warp. And there is another reason we have to be soft on the tension, especially when we are using this type of seed beads. They are quite of irregular shape, so we don't want to create, compared with the delicas, we don't want to create a problem because of this. And here we are at the last seed bead. We have to step up, and here is our base triangle with 1, 2, 3, 4 seed beads on each side. And from here on we start the second phase of our project to create this shape. So we continue with the corner increases in the same manner. We are going to create that shape. We are going to place an increase in the middle of each side. So in between these two, in between these two, in between these two, we come with an extra increase. So we peyote 1, 2, and now we place an increase in between these two beads, just like this. And we continue 1 and 2. So here we have 2 peyote stitches, the increase and other 2 peyote stitches. For the initial triangle, we just continue with the usual corner increases. Okay. One, 2, the increase in the middle, so 2 seed beads go in between those beads, and we continue peyoting 1, 2, and here we have finished the second side. for the increases, and 2, 1, 2. Here we have to place the increase in the middle, and 1, and obviously when we have the last stitch we also step up. And this is the first row with the middle increases. Now we continue with 4 rows of building up the shape with the same increases and peyote on the sides. So here we have 1, 2. Here is very important to make sure you create the last stitch, peyote stitch, before the mid increase and after the mid increase. That's the only thing you have to pay attention to, not to skip them. And here we just place the increase with 2 seed beads, nicely stacked, and then continue with peyote by going in the very next stitch that sticks out from the previous row, the bead that sticks out, 2 and 3. At the end of each side, quickly check that you have the same number of peyote beads on both sides of the increase, because it's quite easy to skip them. And here we have the corner increase of the original triangle, and now the second 1, 2, 3, and we go in the first seed bead of the mid increase. We create the increase with the 2 seed beads, and 1, 2, and 3. And here is the second side finished, and here we just add the normal increase, peyote in between, increase, peyote in between, and here we step up. So the triangle increase. As you have already seen, around the mid increases our work will warp, and make sure that the tension is not too high, because this is what we actually want to encourage the work to create the fold in the plain fabric of the original triangle. And they stack up, 1, 2, and here we step up as well with the last stitch, the last 2 seed beads in the stack. And here we have our shape with the second row. You can see that it already starts to create the wavy shape. So this was the second, and you continue until we have 1, 2, 4 increases, and you come back. Here we can work together on the third row of the middle increase. So peyote, 1, 2, 3, and as we were saying, pay attention at the increase here before and after the mid line. Don't miss that bead, otherwise we won't have the folds, the organic shapes. So immediately after the middle one we go through the bead that sticks out from the previous row. And you have to be careful here, so the threads stay in place and they don't tangle. Good. You can use actually your fingernail to somehow control the position of the beads. And here we have the corner of the triangle, just a normal increase, and now we peyote on the side, 1, 2, 3, and here is very important to add the 4th, even if it's not so obvious. That follows a peyote increase, a peyote stitch, and we just add it, the middle increase with the red beads, goes like that. Okay, and immediately after we pick up a seed bead, a black one, and go through the first seed bead that sticks out from the previous row. Very important. If we don't do this, as I was saying before, the fold won't come up. Even if it's difficult to see that increase, the peyote around the increase, just do it. Just do it. And 1, 2, 3, and don't stop here, add the 4th, and then the mid increase, the beads for the increase. Okay. And immediately after increase you come with the peyote stitch using the first bead that sticks out. Even if you can't see it, that stitch is correct. And now we step up and we have to make, you can see the shape, and we need another round of the increases. And here is our shape at the end of the fourth row after the middle increase. And how can we find out how many rows we've done? By just counting the beads in the increase: 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you see, this is the size of the shape if we make only 4 increases, and here you have the size of the shape if we go 1 more or 2 more rows. I don't remember exactly if there were 5 or 6 increases. Anyway, it's up to you to decide how many increases, but I would say at least 4 to make sure that the shape shapes up. Yeah, so after we have 4 increases in the middle, we just create the last row, and in the last row we don't do anything else that adding only 1 bead on top of the increases instead of 2, and peyote the sides. And obviously we pay attention to that peyote stitch near the mid increase. So use your finger to open up a little the folds, and here we have the last one, and we know we have to add another bead after that one. We just do it even if we can't see it. Okay, on the top of the increase we add only 1, and we continue with peyote stitching. All around. Here I am at the end of my thread, and I was thinking it would be good to show you how I add thread. I'm using nylon thread, I think, and I just create a loop, slightly bigger, hold it, and here I have the loop of the new thread, and I put through that loop the old thread, and I just pull, and there is no more sliding. And I just cut the threads, and I can continue. So here we continue with our final row. On top of the increase, only one. And continue peyoting the peyote stitch all around, and pay attention around the middle increases. So here you open it up, just for the time being, otherwise we want the fold to stay here. And here we add our increase, our peyote, and only one bead on top of the increase. Make sure you come with a peyote stitch after. Okay, so don't be shy to manipulate the shape with your fingers until the beads just fall in place. And it looks like we are, no, it's not the final stitch, we're still having some. And one bead on top of the increase, and peyote all around. We unfold this area. It's very helpful if you hold the thread over your finger like that. And here I kind of force the stitches, the beads in the place. Here we have the mid increase and the single bead. And here again we open the shape and the first peyote stitch. Continue with the others by going through the bead that sticks out from the previous row. Okay. And now it looks like we are near the last stitch, because here we already have one bead over the increase. We step up as we usually do through the single one in the increase. So this is the final shape after we got the last row with the single bead on top of the increases, and now we just connect these three beads together, the three beads that are on top of the mid increases. So we just move the thread down to one of the beads, down or up. So okay. And from here we need to get here, so we just weave in the thread. Okay, and now we follow the increased line. And here we are at the top. We fold the increases in, and we simply stitch the top beads in a circle, just like this. We go around again. So you can finish it now, or you can actually add another bead in between the three of the corners. And go around through all 6 beads to create kind of the center of the flower. So this is our shape, flower style shape. You can use it as a 3-dimensional component, or if you want, you can also add some beads and kind of stitch them. This looks too big. Let me see if I find kind of a 4mm, I think, for this side, so it can be stitched like this and create a nice shape, one in each petal. Or you can leave it as it is and obviously make it bigger. So this is today's tutorial. Hopefully soon I will be able to make the tutorial for this bigger shape, but using absolutely the same technique as we described today. Thank you for watching, Please comment and let me know if anything doesn't go well for you to see. It can happen. And see you in our next tutorial. Bye bye.